Because that's the flip side of a very strong split push lineup potentially on both sides is that if you fall behind, you don't really have a lot of room to catch up. And that's, I mean, Juggernaut is a pretty good flash farmer. Bristleback can have Ancient stack for him and come back a little bit. I don't know that the cores on LGD are quite as robust. If Lycan falls behind in this game, or if Storm falls behind in this game, I think both of those heroes could have a really So I'm going to go back to my kind of original inclination that the laning phase is just going to be really crucial for LGD.
I think it's a little bit closer. Darkseer and Storm, they can both, flash farm the jungle. Lycan can go back to Ancients. Juggernaut, yeah, sure, farm the jungle, while Bristle takes Ancients. So if either side falls behind, I think they've got the heroes to come back farm-wise, but it requires so much setting up, You need the supports to be stacking for you, keeping the jungle flowing. And if they don't do that and your lanes fall back, I don't know. The Storm Spirit requires a lot of farm. Basically, you're looking at it thinking, okay, Lycan and Storm, they both need to create space for each other. But how do they do that? We're just going to see what LGD actually pull out of the hat, while IG actually go for a level 1 smoke. Where are they sending Burning and Chuan?
This is really unusual. I don't know what the thought process here is. Whether they're going to try to kind of switch the lanes up a little bit, or whether they're running a play for the top rune here. Really?
Look, they put the Broodmother web up at the top rune spot. So obviously your thoughts are, okay, well, Broodmother's going top. That's where she's put her first web. But Luo actually heads down to the bot lane. We used to see this all the time.
You called the mind games, man. I'm telling you.
Well, we used to see this all the time, and the best example comes to mind is Sexy Bambo. Back at TI2, when Broodmother was, a really top pick, and you'd run up as Radiant, you'd literally run up to this off lane, place a web within vision of the tier 1 tower, and then you'd run back down to the bot lane, and then actually lane down there while you send your aggressive tri-lane up the top. And you'd run these mind games where the opponent would set themselves up so heavily they'd have sentries, maybe even pre-plant a sentry, to try and deal with a Brood who wasn't even in that lane.
Well, I do feel like IG have really gotten the better of the early mind games here, though. I mean, isn't this kind of the laning matchup that you want? The Broodmother and the Dazzler who's going to be able to play really safe. I don't know that this LGD tri-lane is going to be able to get enough done.
No. And then they've got Ferrari mid against the Storm Spirit. The Bristleback should do a decent job here. In fact, he's keeping up with, in terms of CS. He can't quite keep the spam going.
Yeah, that's going to be the question to me is if Bristleback ever exhausts his mana in this lane, I think he's going to have a really tough time, because that kind of tends to be Bristle's problem in the laning phase. Now, IG is aware of the rotation here from the two LGD supports, and there's going to be a lot of pressure, I think, on, and just because of the way that the laning phase has gone, the matchups have gone, I think there's going to be a lot of pressure on MMY and Zhao to make something happen here.
Okay, let's swap up the lanes now. Darkseer heads down to bot. Sylar is pulling to this small camp, and things are looking okay right now. But where are the two supports from IG? One on this line with boots first. He's running around, probably secures the top rune. Broodmother already has a soul ring, and how much of it? They're swapping lanes again. No way.
I mean, they're just going to play musical chairs here, and the biggest thing is the Broodmother has gotten off to a better start, and I think that's just such a big advantage.
Broodmother's already ahead. The sad thing is, though, the webs are on cooldown, so she can't just go ahead and place that. Well, mid lane, Ferrari takes the CS lead, gets stunned up, though, and maybe with the remnants, they'll slow him down. But again, how do you kill this Bristleback? You've taken him down to low HP, he turns back around, here comes Chuan with a DD onto Zhao 8, and maybe even the Storm Spirit. Chuan's DD and the Cruel Spray stacking up. What looked like a decent attempt on the Ferrari Bristleback turned back around on them.
I mean, this is why, I don't know, I'm just a geek and everybody knows that, but this is why I love watching Dota at this level. These guys are just so good at leveraging the hell out of tiny, tiny advantages. Just those early couple of minutes that give you just a little bit of a level advantage, just a little bit of a gold advantage. All of a sudden, you're able to make some things happen with that, and that advantage, that first blood there, was created by IG just having outguessing LGD early on in the laning phase. And here Zhao 8's going to try and come do some things again mid, but I think this Venge is going to have a hard time contributing now.
He just went to ward up the ancient spot. They don't want the stacks built up for the Bristleback, but yeah, it's the small thing, like. That was literally an overstep of about 50 range over the ramp. Chuan got lucky with the DD, sure enough. But, you know, if Maybe and Xiaowei had realized, okay, we're not going to kill this Bristleback, and hadn't gone for that secondary remnant, man.
Maybe in trouble again.
Oh, man, the goo early on here from Bristleback, slowing him down just enough for Chuan to come in with a stun.
Lee. I don't know. To me, I love watching Ferrari play mid because the thing that separates him, he's obviously a very technically competent player, but he also he plays with just this sense of confidence and ruthlessness that you see in pubs all the time. That, you know, mid will call for a gank when they're behind. I mean, Ferrari and the other top mid players, I mean, they call for ganks when they're ahead. They're like, look, I've got a small advantage in lane. Let's turn that small advantage into a big one.
Yeah, and it's not like they're losing out at all, really, on the other lanes. Dark's here now. He's got level 3 in Iron Shell, so he's able to kind of deal with the Spiderlings. Luo going in there and giving a few away, but they're looking for the heal bomb. Shadow Wave with Spiderlings does a hell of a lot of damage.
And meanwhile, Burning, who's by himself currently down bottom against 3 LGD heroes, has the CS lead on the board.
While Sylar running around with Quelling Blade wondering, what have I done to deserve this? All I want to do is kill some creeps and get some gold.
And look at that, the Darkseer Soul Ring coming out a full 2-3 minutes later than the Broodmother. I mean, this is the power of that early lane advantage. It sort of harkens back to the 6.81 meta where the laning phase was just so important due to the tower gold bounties. I mean, it still plays a big role here.
Over in the jungle, Maybe stacking up for himself. He's going to double stack here. 3 creep camps ready to get taken with a level 2 remnant. It'll take a short while to do this. And he's giving up some lane time as well. Although, wait, is he level 6 yet? No. I think that's the biggest reason why he's doing it. He wants to hit level 6 so he's not as susceptible anymore to the rotations in from Chuan. Yao dropping low. Went for the Spiderlings, has to salve himself up, and like this lane, okay, Darkseer beats out Broodmother. When there's Faith here, spamming out Shadow Wave, doing damage back and zoning you out, is not as clear cut.
I mean, it's funny too, because I catch myself doing this all the time when we're talking about drafts. It's not, when you're talking about pro play at this level with 2 teams that are really playing on top of their games recently, it's not just about the 1v1 hero matchups. It's about the lanes and the support rotations, and that has as much or more influence. We might see a fight here over the top.
They're going to go into Faith to zip in, and this is going to be an easy kill. Faith can't get any spells off, but Ferrari...
Yeah, but is Ferrari going to get stuff out of this?
He wants to keep on fighting. The Quill Sprays are stacking up. MMY and Xiaoba dropping low, but not low enough.
I felt like he might have been able to, and I think that's the right call there to fall back and live. Yeah. But I feel like he might have been able to sacrifice himself there and get a double kill. Oh, but gosh, oh my gosh, Luo is going to be out of control.
No way.
That's a solo kill, yeah. I'm telling you, that early advantage is just so huge for a Broodmother. Maybe they've got a double damage rune. He's at least going to get a little bit done down here.
Farming up.
He's farming at camps.
Well, he's got limited mana. He can't really jump on
Look at
anyone.
Ferrari here, going to get a solo kill on Xiaowei in the mid lane. Sorry.
Easy. MMY comes in.
What's MMY going to do?
He slows him down, but Ferrari with 10 stick charges. He's got a bottle charge. He's got more than enough regen. And then you've got Faith. Faith walks in and says, okay, well, maybe they go on you here. Maybe Storm will jump in and try and kill you, but Dazzle with a perfect positioning, perfect timing, just to walk in there and really secure Ferrari's life.
Yeah, and it looks like Ferrari might be going for, he might be going for Vanguard here. He's sending the courier to the secret shop.
Maybe he has to TP himself away. He's full HP and he's TPing out back to space.
Yeah, this early game is going, oh my lord, don't look at the gold graph. Okay, the early game is going very strongly in IG's favor, a little bit more strongly than even I thought. Yeah, and we've already got the Vit booster here up on Ferrari at 730.
I usually kind of keep the net worth chart until 10 minutes in. I thought I'll bring it up a little bit early here just to show you guys that Ferrari has 4k net worth, while the closest competitor from LGD is Storm with 2.9. Net worth graph itself, I'm going to leave that until we hit 12 minutes or so to actually see what the damage is and where things are heading, because, I don't know, it sounds scary. It sounds like it's a deep, dark area for LGD.
Yeah, I mean, it felt like the Bristleback mid might have caught LGD a little bit off guard. I mean, they have only done it once, but it just seemed like such a good game for it.
Looking at Yao's itemization, he's pretty slow here. We want to see that early mech so they can start actually making space for the Lycan, so he can go off and farm one lane. But they don't have that, you know, 4 versus 5 gang squad. They don't have four heroes that can actually go around and do stuff on their own. Luo goes in here. Yao has to surge himself up, but where's the rotation in? There's no line. Faith gets caught by the tower, and now in comes maybe the preemptive. Great from Faith, but he can't TP away. And oh my god, the damage add-on to maybe. It looked like they might be able to bring down Faith without any casualties. Luo, stick charges, spawn spiderlings, the invis rune. Okay, maybe we'll escape here.
Was Faith out of mana there on his dazzle? It looked like he could have TP'd. It looked like he could have immediately TP'd away after he grazed himself.
The vortex from Storm.
It's okay.
Yeah, that's the only reason why he held on to it. He wanted to just run with the grave, maybe bait him back into the Shadow Wave heal bomb.
Oh, I see. No, okay. I thought, all right. I thought he might take a chance there because I thought he could have maybe fogged Storm for just a second, but yeah, he was dead either way, and that's fine. But meanwhile, Burning with the early Mask of Madness on the Juggernaut, yeah, he's going to be able to rotate into the jungle here, give Chuan a little bit of free farm in lane to get to the level 6 on the Lion. Lion's probably already at 975 gold. He's going to have his Blink Dagger around the 15-minute mark, and I think IG is going to have a very, I think they're going to be able to hit the same timing window in this game that they hit in the last one.
Maybe even earlier than 15 minutes.
Exactly.
But what are LGD's outs here? Because, you know, the game isn't over by any means. I'll actually look at the net worth graph right now. It's about a 4K lead, 10 minutes in. It's bad, but it's not insurmountable here. Experience-wise, LGD with that 1 kill up on top lane have a little bit. Maybe has Soul Ring treads and Juggernauts. Finds AA at mid. I'm guessing Omni Slash straight onto him.
Yeah, and this is like the worst time in the game for LGD to be giving up kills, especially to this IG lineup with a lead. I mean, their lineup is just so obnoxiously strong in the mid game anyway, and they have just so many things that they can do in terms of IG's strategic options right now. I mean, they can death ball, they can split push, they can go for picks.
But where are the picks going to come from? Because AA needs... Oh, he's level 6 now. Okay.
Okay, that's a big deal.
Yeah. This is maybe where they start to look around for kills with the Vengeance AA and have Storm Spirit zip around it. In fact, do they smoke here? I think they might just smoke up as 3. Yep, perfect timing.
You've got to run a play of some sort here because this Sylar Lycan desperately needs space. I mean, he's level 8. He's certainly not hitting the panic button just yet, but they're gonna rotate down bottom and at least try and pick off Chuan, who's had free farm on his Lion and is close to his Blink Dagger. And this could set him back a couple minutes for the Blink Dagger, and every little bit really does help. But boy, if Yao goes down here, oh
yeah,
no.
Throw the spawn Splurlings into his back and take him out. Chuan on bot lane will go down, maybe gets hexed up, but it's not going to stop the damage output from LGD. The trading is not what LGD really want to do. They want clear-cut kills to try and drag this back.
And it's not just even that, it's that it's an unfavorable trade. You're trading your Darkseer, who is just woefully far behind right now. I mean, 12 minutes and he's still reaching out for the mech.
Top tower has fallen.
And this Brood is just, this Brood owns the top part of the map right now. Luo has set up shop, said, this is my real estate, not yours.
Take a look at Brood's itemization as well. I saw the Gloves of Haste very early, and in my brain you think, okay, straight Midas, go into that Dagon later on, maybe an Orchid if you want to, but he's stopped with the Midas.
And old school, baby, Orchid, all the way.
Orchid against Darkseer, he's just going to wreck this guy.
Exactly.
How did Maybe die? Did Maybe just solo die to Chuan? I mean, MMY is in the vicinity.
Oh god, I wasn't even looking for that, and yep, it had to be. Yeah, fingers on cooldown. Oh, jeez, that can't happen. That can't happen right there.
Damn. Well, Orchid is really completed for Luo. His top lane, like you said, is his domain. Making the webs all across the Dire jungle. There's no real way. We talked about it. Storm Spirit and Darkseer being able to farm up jungle camps. There are no jungle camps. Brood Brother has owned them all.
Yeah, no, but this is Brood country right now. You guys can forget about farming up here. And this is why I said they've got to run some kind of play here, and they tried in terms of getting the pick off on Tron. Another smoke here used, but this is a little bit too obvious. All the same, it is going to be a 5-man smoke. They may get burning here, and that's certainly a high value kill.
Top tower is under attack.
But maybe getting ready to zip in. Level 2 Vortex will be able to lock him down. It's just the timing, though. The creep wave is pushed in. Burning's right next to his tier 1. There's even Ferrari hiding in the back. He had 2,000 gold. He's buying Standing Yasha.
Oh yeah, why not? I mean, you're dominating the mid game at this point.
Yeah, he's hiding behind his own tier 2. Maybe he just gives up and goes back to bot lane. Realizing he needs to keep his farm going. Bloodstone is still quite distant on the horizon with that lowering and point was picked up. Ice Blast mid, so we'll give it on to Burning. Ferrari? I don't know, you stunned him up, but then what? Where's the damage coming from? Chuan with a blink. 13 minutes in. 13!
That's just terrifying.
Radiant's bottom tower
And yeah, I
is
mean,
under attack.
with Vanguard and Sanj, as you mentioned, you're not killing this Bristleback anytime soon.
Yeah, I'll get
And
tossed up,
Bristleback could pretty much 1v4 at this point.
but he's not going to go down. There's no stun, no slow, no way to stop him. As Burning, are they smoking into Roche here? Are they going to go for the sneaky play? Because Sylar, there's no way he contests. There's no way he spots them out.
It's not even really that
Radiant's
sneaky at this
bottom
point. I
tower
mean,
is under
Oh,
attack.
maybe jumps in. They find Chuan. He can't get the Hex and stun down, but I don't know. Omni Slash back onto Xiao.
and you can kind of see, I mean, LGD is sort of trying to restore a little bit of map equilibrium by
middle tower
pressuring
is
the
under
Radiant
attack.
jungle to make up for the fact that Luo is just running wild in their jungle. But I mean, where's the pressure going to come from? You've got Ferrari just pressuring mid lane by himself. You know, come at me, boys.
1 versus 3. And he TPs one of the 3. He forces one of the 3 to TP out. Like
He's just standing over the back of the creep wave.
Okay. Nice flash. Gonna land on Ferrari, but then what? Finger of Death down to maybe with a spawn spiderlings. They bring him down. Chuan does give up his life for that, but look at the spider trapping in Xiao. Oh no! The good vacuum wall will bring down the Broodmother at long last. Sylar punches shapeshift. And Xiao will survive for now. Swapping himself out.
Great, good, very, very nice play by Dark here there to save his
bottom
teammate.
tower has
And I
fallen.
thought they were hosed in that fight, but Yao coming in with at least a little bit of triage for LGD.
And that gives LGD a glimmer of hope. That's a 1,400 gold swing, about 1,000 or 1,500 experience worth going back the way of LGD, but you lost your Storm. Maybe Sylar, okay, Sylar gets like enough gold to go and buy an island somewhere. Maybe a Bugatti.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it boils down to this. If they're going to have a chance, they've got to start keeping maybe alive in these fights. Because 4 deaths on a Storm Spirit at the 15-minute mark, I mean, you know, absent Sumail dying 4 times and then just absolutely going ham, you know, 4 deaths on your Storm Spirit, especially when you're dying in team engagements at this point, is really problematic.
Maybe. Where do you go? Roshan hasn't been attempted just yet. I don't know when RG will decide to head on in there. It feels like Ferrari's just having too much fun at this mid lane. Spamming out cool sprays, baiting in 3 or 4 heroes to deal with them. We were talking about Broodmother being this hero that forces you to react and forces you to address him on lane. Well, they've had Broodmother do that, they've had Bristleback do it, and LGD just don't have enough hands to go and put out the fires.
Yeah, that's the formula, and when we talk about split pushing potential in the draft, this is exactly what we meant, that either one of these lineups, if Lycan and Darkseer or Storm get ahead, this is what they can do. They can basically take a lane in and of themselves, pressure with complete impunity, and the rest of the team do whatever they want. But unfortunately, with IG's got nothing to do.
I've seen this story before. They tried, maybe now they'll succeed. Sylar goes into the shapeshift, but maybe stuck between a rock and a hard place. Rage goes down on Ferrari, keeps him alive, and there's no way maybe he's escaping. Sylar goes for the kill of the fate and will take him out. He gets a double kill for his efforts, taking the 2 supports with him.
And Darkseer might die here. I mean, Ferrari is just like, yeah, whatever. What are you going to do?
Surge in 1 second. Oh, you can't surge when you're silenced though. Ferrari just keeps on going. Swap back from Xiao 8 will keep him alive for a little while longer. Yeah, will actually escape with his life. One more kill straight. Ferrari, he's diving in deep. He's blocked up by the walls and he turns back to Sylar. Sylar, no, he TP's in, pops the neck, but Ferrari is not giving up. Good vacuum. Great vacuum. And with the Ice Blast, will finally bring down Ferrari's Bristleback. 5-1 and 3. It took him diving tier 3s to get that kill.
I mean, Yao is just clinging to the ledge with his fingernails here. That's 2 in a row where it would have been absolute disaster for IG, and Yao's plays make sure they get something out of it.
Top lane though, blink into maybe. They're going to get it. Burning has no mana for Omni Slash, but they don't even need it. Finger of Death, Hex, and a couple of swipes from Burning's Katana. More than enough to secure that kill as Luo on his bot lane causing havoc once again.
Yeah, Phage just messaged me on Skype, by the way, that the median blink timing for Lion in 6.83 is slightly over 20 minutes. I mean, this is how far ahead that Chuan is in this game. Got his blink at 13 minutes.
Crazy, crazy stuff. And then you look back at the Dire supports.
Dire's middle
Ben's
tower
running around with tranquil boots and wards. AA did manage to get himself a Midas though. So that's an avenue back into the game. Where does he go with it? It's not like you can be proactive with a Midas. You're going to be looking at
the
your
Midas
cores.
is pretty much, in this day, Midas is pretty much just core on AA now. I mean, forget about the catch-up Midas. It's just, you need that level 11 so bad, and you're usually going to be 4th or 5th in farm priority, so, I mean, why not? I mean, AA is pretty much artillery in most of these games.
This is a good point. Ever since they've sent Broodmother down to the spot lane, how does LGD take Roshan? The webs are there, they've got the vision, they know whenever you're going to try and sneak in. I mean, Jabba taking down the ward from the cliff, but it's pretty hard.
Well, I mean, this is pretty much just the ideal MO for a Brood, right? Okay, I'm going to take both towers in top lane. I'm going to make it so that you never feel safe in your own jungle for the rest of the match. And then I'm just going to take the bottom half of the map over too. So forget about applying any pressure anywhere. And right now, I mean, all 6 outer towers still standing for IG, 1 for LGD.
And it's sort of one of those, okay, Burning, okay, buy yourself a Battle Fury 20 minutes in when you've already got 10,000 net worth. Why the hell not?
Get out of here. Yeah, why not? That's Burning saying, I am the god of farming and I can buy whatever I want. And here IG running the play with the smoke, and I think they're going to be, I think LGD could be in serious trouble if they don't sniff this out.
We even saw Burning the other day. He went into the Roche pit against the enemy, who were taking Roche down pretty quickly. Obviously slashed, got a couple of kills, killed Roche down, and stole Aegis Immortal. This guy really does put on the name. Great Earthspike stopping top. Jabba taking low, but then the vacuum comes in. On the slash of Burning, weaving and critting through the wall. But maybe it's that Ferrari. Slowed down, swapped out, and dead to the ice blast.
Nice job by LGD, recognizing what was coming here. They were on top of that all the way, and they're going to get a couple more kills out of this possibly.
Well, they've had faith. The Necro 3 here from Sylar. Scouting out Luo to start. Yep, just in time. Luo being caught out. Nowhere to run. LGD, what's the flight recap say about that? Because that was a big old fight for them.
Wow, I mean, I thought the smoke by IG was a little bit obvious, but boy, LGD were prepared for that in a big way. Ferrari just a little bit too far in, and yeah, they're going to take Roche off this. This puts LGD right in the game, and this is what I was saying about their match yesterday. Eerily, it's almost at the same time that it happens. They play so patient. They believe that they always have a path back into the game.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Well, Ferrari and Chuan farming up the Dire jungle. I wanna take a look in a couple of minutes at how this affects the Golden Experience grounds, because that fight where they almost wipe IG, they get a couple of big kills on the core heroes. That's dangerous. That's looking dangerous for IG right now, and it all comes down to really that dive. You know, Ferrari loses 1 life, and they still feel, okay, we're in this dominant position, but you've given Necro 3 over the Sylar. You've given Storm Spirit enough gold to buy up a soul booster.
And you can see, by the way, you can see how much that one fight affected IG's approach to the game by the fact that Luo, when he respawns, immediately buys the Midas. They're thinking, okay, you know, that one fight is significant enough that we're probably not going to be able to end the game here at 25-30 minutes. We need to have a plan for the game going 40, and that's what the Midas on Brood is about.
I've had that Gloves of Haste for quite some time, and I've always seen the Midas, you know, happening. Maybe he goes back into treads if they feel that they're that far ahead and he doesn't need it, so yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like he was just gonna. I felt like there was some chance that he was just gonna go BKB, just go tread BKB, and then plan to fight it out at 25-30 minutes. But that one fight just changes the texture of this game so dramatically. I mean, look at that. That's gonna be 2 outer towers and the Roshan, and they may push for a 3rd here. Now they're gonna back up. Smart play.
IG pressing up onto the tier 3 on top. But LGD with the the ball is in their court, definitely. Storm Spirit Aegis Immortal, he can jump on anyone. He's in fact going to jump onto Ferrari right now with the Ice Blast. They'll probably bring him down. They've got enough lockdown, but not quite enough damage without Sylar there. Fighting him with his back turned, a little more difficult than I thought it would be.
Yeah, and Ferrari to the point where he probably needs a BKB now to get to be nearly as relevant in these fights here in the next 5 or 10 minutes.
Got the Ogre Club and he's building up towards it. His progression has been stymied though.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean that happens to a Bristleback a lot of the times at this point in the match naturally. That you know, at that 25-minute mark or so, if your team isn't kind of snowball pushing, this is the point where without a lot of support stacking for you, the Bristleback can fall behind anyway.
Yeah, you get the decent farm on lane, then you get that burst of golden experience from the ancient stack and a bit in the jungle. But farm priority has pretty much all gone to burning for the past 5 or 6 minutes.
But you know, you were pointing this out a few minutes ago with the Necro 3. I mean, look at how Sylar's caught up, right? I mean, he's now ahead of Ferrari, and he's a 1K behind Burning, and if this game drags on, he could very well take the lead over.
Yeah, it's not too far away. The way he's going about this, taking top lane, he's going to be farming jungle soon with Wolves.
Yeah, the worry again though is maybe. I mean, they've got to find a way. If LGD really want to come the rest of the way back in this match, they've got to have a plan for how are they going to make space for him. How are they going to get him? I mean, he's at a full 1 major item deficit, a little bit more relative to the IG cores. They've got to have a plan to get him back in this match.
There's your plan. You still go back for the Orchid. It's going to give you decent kill potential, and it's always great to have it against Dazzle. You just stop that grave from happening, stop the heal spam.
I think this is one game where I might at least consider going straight for Sheep. I mean, BKB is probably the safe choice, but Sheep is really good against the Juggernaut Bristleback combination.
True. I was just looking at
it's very rare now, so seeing a Storm. I mean, it used to be that Storms were thinking about going either first item Sheep or first item Orchid. Now it's almost always either Bloodstain or Orchid, and then some combination of the other and BKB.
Yeah, and then Shiva's has been really popular as well as that third item.
Well, it's a physical damage meta right now, man. I mean, Shiva's is just so good for your whole team.
Tier 1 and Tier 2 towers seems to exist as LGD look to pressure into Tier 3 here. IG need to TP themselves back and try and deal with this. But addressing this Lycan when he pops Necro 3, knocking on your door, Lip has to be popped, maybe on the front line now. Aegis Immortal will expire in what, 20 seconds or something like that? Oh, there's a little more time there, 30 to 40 seconds. They've got this window. They've got the time where they could even just take rack here. 4 decks down to Ferrari, but unfazed back. Bristleback, he's doing quite a fair amount of damage and forces LGD just to retreat up back on that ramp.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Chow hate. Okay, that's optimistic. Going for the TP. I think it's a little more of a bait just to say, okay, well, take my life, let the rest of my team survive.
No, I think that was definitely calculated, and that I'm going to make him spend the army slot if they were
No, not going to be as lucky though. The jam on maybe will allow them to bring down the Broodmother, so they lose their 2 supports, they get a tier 3 at top, and they also kill the Brood, just stopping that annoyance on this bot lane.
Yeah, and even that, I say a really good trade there for LGD, and you can kind of feel the influence of Xiao 8 in these fights, just being very calculated with his team, saying, okay guys, we hung back, we exploited our advantage, and now let's just push it to the most that we can. I think the BKB from Ferrari maybe caught them a little bit off guard there. They probably thought they may have had another 1 or 2 minutes before that came up. You can see the minute that he activated that 10-second BKB charge, they were like, all right, we're out of here. Yeah. Did end up having to sacrifice the supports, but got the kill on Luo's Brood on the back end to more than make up for it.
It's not that big a deal losing Avenging AA, because AA has that fighter. He's 1,000 gold away now from his Aghanim Scepter, and he's level 11 already. So
yeah, that's really, that Aghanim is really going to hurt.
4-man smoke here, so they're leaving Sylar alone to farm up Ancients and going there. They're looking for Burning. Burning's going to show himself on top lane. Oh, this could be big. Yeah. This could be a big deal here. Going to kill there. That's starting things off. But Burning TP's out. Swap. Going to cancel that out. It's maybe now. Dips forward. Vortex ready to go. Will catch Burning and bring him down.
He had already spent his Manta, not Midas, to push the wave there. So really nothing he could do. And they had more than enough disables to make up for it anyway. And this is where the Battle Fury kind of farming Juggernaut is. You can see Burning desperately turning around, recognizing that to take advantage of that Battle Fury, he's going to need a BKB, but he's Mithril Hammer. He'll have the Ogre Club when he respawns, but still 1,000 gold or more away.
I'm just looking at the fight recap and realizing, okay, Burning had a dominating streak. IG is still technically ahead in terms of net worth, and
yeah, I if LGD can, the only thing holding LGD back is catching maybe up. But if they can manage to get a couple of kills on maybe a pickoff or two, I think IG are in serious trouble in this match.
Look at this, maybe Zips about 4,000 range to find Faith. He could try TPing out, but holding the Vortex till the very last second there will secure this kill for the Storm Spirit.
Oh, come on, Director.
What did he steal it? Oh boy. With the Wave of Terror or with the right click?
Dire's bottom tower is
I want to say I think he got it with the wave, but I'm not sure.
On bot lane, tier 3 has been taken. Flow is super annoying down here. Lycan trying to deal with the spiderlings, but it's a little bit difficult when he can't clear out with an AoE. Maybe Storm Spirit just zip on them. Zip on those little spiderlings.
Yeah, he's gonna have the shivers now though, his Yao, and that's gonna be. We've crossed the point now where, you know, we talked about the split push potential, but now we're down to the fact that Darkseer is going to have a dramatically bigger influence in any kind of team engagements. And you can see Yao has already made some really big plays early on when they were behind to prevent IG's lead from spiraling out of control. And now with the Shivas and the mech, he's going to be a team fight presence to contend with. Meanwhile, Burning is kind of farming top, needs that BKB and he knows it, but is even that going to be enough now that the Lycan picks up a basher?
So I'm just taking a look here at the vision from either side. The Radiant have been really prioritizing this top lane. We've seen how often Burning's been pushing up here, so lane ward up on top, while a ward over by Roshan Ancients will give them a little bit of vision in that direction, while the Dire, they know that top lane is going to be their priority. They've got a ward watching for movements back and forth from the enemy ramp, while, you know, maybe movements to and from the jungle they need to look out for if they want to find a pick-off with a Storm Spirit. So both teams know exactly what they're looking for warding-wise, and they have addressed that and placed them accordingly.
Okay, but this is the classic example where stats don't tell the whole story. Look at the net worths. The net worths between Burning and Sylar are identical, but then look at the items, and look at how defensive and farming-oriented Burning's build is, and look at how offensive Sylar's build is. Look at how much more that gold is going to be able to do for his team in these team fights.
Yeah, when you're thinking about actually taking the base, what does Burning offer you? He can attack really quickly, but with the minus armor on buildings from the AC, he's got the Necro units, the Howl, the Vlads, the Wolves. These racks aren't going to last long. We're going to see the wrap around here. The Ferrari in the back line. As Burning comes to BKB, goes straight in on the Yao. They take him down with an instant on the side. Has to be used by Burning because he drops so low on HP. Man fighting Sylar, you guys. Sylar managing to take down the Juggernaut. They've lost 3 heroes in the process, and I don't know, that's a good fight with Ferrari DDing, not using his BKB.
That was perfectly played by Burning. It was he timed his right clicks, his mom activation, and his Omni Slash absolutely perfectly in that fight to optimize the damage output. Was a little bit fortunate with a couple of early crits that brought down Zhao 8 a little bit earlier maybe than they would have anticipated. But he played that fight with those items. I thought he was going to have to play that fight perfectly to get a respectable amount of damage, and he did.
Where Burning's alive in 30 seconds, Roshan has respawned. And now the Dire know about it. The Radiant have seen it. They've poked their heads into that pit. Is this somewhere that LGD want to go straight away? I think they might have to.
Yeah, I mean they can still pressure Roshan here, and they really ought to. They still, in spite of that last fight by Burning, they still have the upper hand. I think in terms of game flow and map control.
Bulldog spam, best spam, huh?
Well, and with Yao sitting here on the ledge, I think LGD are basically going to make that come to us.
There's no way, though. Roshan dies far too quickly. Giving it over to maybe who... What has he gone for? He's still got Bloodstone and 3,500 gold. Hasn't decided on that secondary item yet.
I mean, we had plenty of copy pasta in the chat before, but as Admiral Bulldog always does, it's just to the next level now.
Of course it is. Of course it is. Jalbar with the Ghost Scepter, no real mobility outside of that swap, but he's level 12. He's managed to get a lot out of this game. Yeah, we've already seen his Shiva's Guard. Sylar, do you finish off Abyssal as your next item, or do you start considering BKB as an option?
I mean, I don't think you have to go BKB. It's certainly not a bad choice, but until IG really threaten you in these fights, until they show that they're capable of focusing you down, which they really haven't at all, I mean, yeah, I go ahead and go Abyssal and just go in on either the Jug or the Abyssal backwards, basically.
Sorry, CKB a little bit early there. I don't know if you can be able to fight through all this. Takes down the menu unit. Okay. Okay, that's his focus. Stops the push at the root. Just maybe jumps in again. Obliterated! Ferrari and Burning wipes the floor with the full spread. But now it looks like we might have to back up a little bit. Good old Earthquake there on the baby, and now Figure of Death will finish him off, but Ferrari's dead. The Grave keeps him alive, but only for so long. And Burning slips back, and Racks are going to fall. Ferrari has no buyback.
Yeah, we've been seeing the Lycan against the Jug more and more, and you saw partly why there. I mean, Burning held onto that Omni and held onto that Omni, but he had to use it at that point in the fight as Ferrari was getting so low, and he had to use it while the summons and part of the creep wave was still there. So a lot of the damage potential of that Juggernaut wasted.
Yo, look where I'm looking. Look at what Luo has done to the Dire base. While we're looking at that team fight up at top, in fact, Xiao getting caught a little bit here. Burning full step forward, doesn't get in range. But with the Hex from Chuan, this will surely mean that Burning gets the swipes, gets the hits and crits in. Ghost Scepter, okay. You're slowing it down, you're delaying a little bit here. Does he can he survive? Oh, it's not possible, right? Two more? Yeah, he's dead. But back to Luo. Amazing. Luo took a full lane of Racks.
Amazing, and it's so funny that I think Luo caught pretty much everybody on the everybody in the lobby was caught off guard by that, because LGD was we're winning. Oh wait.
Hang on a second, the Broodmother, we've left her unchecked
at the Dire base.
Yeah, for like 3 minutes. Maybe even less. They pushed top, they got into the base, there was a small kerfuffle, there was a tiny little fight where they're taking down melee Racks, and Broodmother...
And a defusal.
Who did? Brood.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm racking my brain here, buddy.
BKB dispels dust. I'm just thinking of defensive possibilities. There's dispel dust.
I mean, honestly, it's not a bad DPS item at this point.
You can purge the Darkseer, but you've got Orchid to silence them up. I'm not too sure. I can't think of any, exceptionally good.
Yeah, I gotta admit, my first reaction was, wait, there's not an Omni Knight in this game.
Exactly. That was exactly what I thought as well. But there's no repel. What's the Broodmother going to fuse for? But well, yeah, I guess it's not too bad with the DPS output. You can purge yourself, but I'm not too sure. We'll see. You can purge Orchid off yourself, but there isn't one. Dawn Spirit still hasn't bought an item after Blood. Oh yes, yeah, he went BKB. Sorry.
Yeah, he went BKB, and I mean so that. I guess the natural thing is that we're anticipating Darkseer completing. Darkseer and Storm Spirit are probably both going to complete a sheep as well as AA if the game goes on long enough, so it can make sense then. But I mean, your horizon has to be, we got to win this next fight, because Luo or not in position to skip push this time.
No, it's definitely can't go and see me take a tier 3 or Racks. Jabba taking Corpse Blindings to the face. Maybe it is that they know they need to fight, and Diffuser Blade is going to give them the best chance of Luo just running into the back end, maybe finding... Oh, of course. There's Ghost Scepter on Vengeful Spirit. I'm not sure if you go in solely to stop that Ghost Scepter.
I don't know that you buy an item on a core to... 4K item on your core to counter a Ghost Scepter on a support, but alright.
But if there are more Ghost Scepters, Burning doesn't want to go for it.
There are going to be more Ghost Scepters and Sheepsticks as the game goes on, so it's not a bad purchase. But again, the question is, we can't afford to be talking and thinking about what's going to happen in 5 or 10 minutes right now. I mean, LGD have their pick of strategic options in terms of what is the Radiant base going to look like 5 minutes from now.
Yeah, and for those of you just joining us, this is game number 3 of a best of 3 in the D2CL playoffs. The loser goes down to the lower bracket to play eHome. The winner goes up into the winner bracket final to play VG. So you definitely want to win this game to keep your chances alive of progressing. There is one spot for that D2CL final. For a tiny team swap back, Ferrari caught out there to the play now from Sylar. Knocks him down, but they can't kill him off with too much HP. He's just too tanky. Obvious Smash now comes down from Burning Sylar. Oh, the force stab. Keeps him alive for now, but LGD there dropping like flies. Luo battling up and fighting against Yao. He's going to surge himself. Okay, there we go. There's the defusal in action. That's what I was looking for. As IG defend their base and take a pretty good team fight.
Somehow, Ferrari got his back turned before he was abyssal. As much as anything else in that point, the fact that Ferrari just somehow managed, I think he may have gotten force-staff forward, or at the very least was caught out of position there, but he managed to get his back turned before the Abyssal went off, and so the damage output that they were able to bring to bear on him was just so much less than it would have been.
It looked like he was in a good position to do a lot of damage to Ferrari, if not kill him, but you're damn right. Getting his back turned. Luo now pushing down the mid lane. Going, but with Necro's Reef, they've got vision, they've got time, they've got damage. And the Abyssal Blade to finish things off. Heading over into the engines. The trouble is though, where does IG go from here? Sure, they're winning fights in and around their base. They're halting the advance from LGD, but without the Broodmother being in a position to go and take buildings her own,
I think they're okay. They basically, both sides are getting to be in symmetric positions right now where both sides are looking to take a fight. I mean, I think this next Roche, just to, you know, I'm not going to be too long-winded about this. I think this next Roche is just going to end up being so pivotal for both teams because, you know, we mentioned maybe now finally starting to get back to the point where he can contribute. And honestly, we mentioned him being in an item deficit, but Aegis is in itself a major item on a Storm Spirit. If LGD can keep control of the Roche Pit and keep getting maybe that Aegis, you know, his item deficit matters a lot less than it otherwise would.
Who's gonna get in there? You can definitely see from the warding that both teams are prioritizing this Roche Pit. Abyssal for burning. Got that additional lockdown for Sylar. He got a little bit unlucky. It was good play, of course, from MMY, forcing Sylar away from the Omnislash and taking the full brunt of it himself, but Birdie getting unlucky that he wasn't already bouncing towards that Lycan, because that would have been a massive kill.
Yeah, he could have jumped to the Lycan while the force staff was going on, and there was one or two bounces there that had they gone a little bit differently, they might have gotten Sylar, and that would have been absolutely huge. But yeah, it was a good play by MMY, and I mean, with a player at that level, I mean, I almost take that for granted. MMY just making huge plays on these 5 heroes consistently.
The Roshan respawn. Both teams are scouting out. Wolves expire. Actually, Wolves get resummoned, but the Spiderling's gonna see it. He's gonna know. Roshan's back up, and LGD. They get caught unawares here because IG have smoked up. They'll see burning with the Wolves. Maybe jumping around. Gonna be a big old clash at the Ancients, surely. Luo goes up onto high ground to scout things out with the web. They're looking for a target, but Yao surges back. LGD just positioning themselves so well here. There's no opening for IG to actually catch someone out.
Yeah, it would be really different if Yao had his sheep stick completed here.
Oh no, vengeful spread. Okay, let's stop burning back. BKB's pop. Jabbar gonna give his life for this one. It's burning, turns back around. Wipes him down. Unfast hit 4. Burning now stood up. It was a blade from Sylar. Locks him in. Ferrari, drop it low. The wall, the illusions, everything just working against IG as they take down the Broodmother, and Roshan is completely open now for them.
Huge. And I was thinking to myself right before that fight that LGD needs a way to initiate. Well, they found it. And once again, we're going to have Aegis going on to maybe here, and I think they're going to be able to end the game after this.
19 Bloodstone charges for Maybe, who had such a rough start. He had no farm, no time. He had nowhere to go. Sylar and Maybe have come back so hard.
Well, you look at it, it's funny, right? But you look at it as, okay, Storm is 6th in net worth out of all the heroes in the game. But what's the single biggest thing that Storm gets from his items? Mana regen. And he's got a 19 charge Bloodstone and an Aegis. So you can't just look at his net worth. I mean, is he really behind in this match? In terms of what he's going to be able to contribute from team fights, it's like he had at least one more major item than he does.
With 19 Bloodstone charges. I mean, if you think about it, how much is that worth? Can you put a quantity, a value on those charges?
Yes. I'm not going to try to do the math in my head, but you can. And between that and Aegis, it's like I said, I think it's probably worth about 1.5 major items right there.
Shabby, not too shabby. Chuan,
and there's the Shivas. I mean, maybe. This is the classic example. I probably will do a replay analysis on this game at some point. That right now, Maybe is 6th in net worth, but it's probably more like he's 3rd.
Net worth lead that IG had, that one team fight, you know, it was only a 5,500 lead. That's been demolished by LGD. Experience is now completely even. But you know, you've been mentioning the entire game that the metrics, they don't tell the full story. We've seen the item progression on LGD be sort of very focused, and they've almost, you know, tunnel visioned on this team fight into going to take base. You know, control Roshan with what items you've got, find pickoffs, and go and take tier 3 towers. Whereas Ferrari's gone for the DPS bristleback build. He wants to try and lock in on one target to fight. While as Juggernaut's gone for the farming build. Sure, he's got the Elizabeth Blade himself, and he can try and zone in on someone. But they don't have the same unison in their itemization.
Well, and I mean, I don't know. I just marvel at it. Maybe not. A lot of people aren't interested in it to the extent that I am, but I mean, this is what makes Jowett's team so good, is that it just feels like they always have a plan for how they're going to win.
Looking for the swap now, because he doesn't want Ferrari, he wants Burning. They get any more 250, turn back down and still for all out, back to 55, but now, turn back around. Sylar fighting in the fire, the flames will get dropped by Ferrari. They found a big old kill, and LGD are now getting the bump. They have to bail, they have to run. Not sure this is the fight they really wanted, because Ferrari's mowing them down. MMY dropping low, 500 HP, but it only takes a couple of hits now from Luo to finish him off.
Yeah, and at this point, you know, maybe he can have all the mana that he wants, but the missing piece is that if they can get Sylar down early in the fight, that's just such a huge amount of LGD's damage output. LGD's damage output, you know, Storm does a lot of damage if he can stay in the fight and if his team can stick around, but he needs time. Sylar is really the only big physical damage output that they've got, and he was just focused down so early in that fight.
I mean, I was talking about tunnel vision, and they definitely did that, but not in the best way. The swap back onto Burning was good, but the rest of the heroes were just a little bit out of position. They were looking for the swap into Abyssal Blade, and then you kill Burning as quickly as you can. They just...
But he had his... that's the other thing. It reminded me a lot of the early fight where Ferrari somehow got his BKB up in his back turn. You know, Burning had his BKB up. Now Faye's gonna go down here, maybe.
Ha-ha! Orchid from Luo. Just signaling his intent, like, I'm here. Don't go any further. Don't try and push the creep wave. Don't creep cut. Don't want you messing with my momentum.
Yeah, but by the time they initiated out on Burning there, the rest of IG was in position. Burning had his BKB up, so they weren't able to inflict that much damage, and it ended up being Sylar that was overextended.
Well, where does Sylar go now? He had the cheese, but didn't get the chance to use it. His next item, I still feel it has to be a BKB.
Yeah, I think, and interestingly enough, this is kind of what you've seen in 6.83, is that BKB timings on a lot of these heroes, median BKB timings have gotten later and later, as players have really recognized that you don't want to go a BKB until the other team really forces you to, because a 10-second BKB charge at this point in the game, when you're already 5 or 6 slotted, it can be just so powerful in that single decisive fight. And yeah, I think he's just well set up to get that 10-second BKB charge and just absolutely maul face with it.
Yeah, you're looking at 5-second BKBs now on the Juggernaut and the Bristleback. Chuan has been doing a good job though, locking the Lycan down while he doesn't have that magic immunity. And I guess with Yao, no, he's been using his vacuum and wall in relatively defensive positions, and then they've been pushing in, but now he's got a Hex. Now they've got even more single target focus. Oh wow. Sylar with a Halberd.
Wow, really interesting. I mean, it's funny though, that might catch IG a lot off guard, right? It is pretty decent damage mitigation, and Burning may not be expecting this. As you said, his BKB is down to 5 seconds, and that just, it gives them one more tool to keep Burning out of the fight.
Where is the start? Where's the initiation? Burning's up on top lane, clearing out the creep wave, and just that back a little bit. The fallen racks, a little bit annoying to deal with, as LGD are the ones that are pushing into the stronger creeps here. I don't know if that was a factor of the last fight. I don't feel like it should be or would have been. It is mainly the fact that Ferrari and Burning are so tanky. Oh, we're going to swap back on Ferrari. Let's see how tanky he can be when he gets blasted by the AA. Maybe in the back line for Serpent Swan, and now Burning. Yes, he went to Sylar, but the heals there. They can't finish him off. The cleave from Burning, the Omni Slash is not enough. And it looks like IG have to buy back Ferrari, turn things around with more in the vacuum. Maybe zipping, gets another. Sylar with a triple kill, cleaning up IG, forcing a double buyback. In fact, was that a triple? No, just double.
Double buyback, but look at the heroes that it's on. That's kind of funny. I was just thinking before that fight, it's a glass half full, glass half empty thing, right? You can say that the two initiations that they had where Burning and Ferrari got their BKBs off and Ferrari got his back turned, it was really quick reflexes and it saved them the fights against LGD. But the minute LGD get a clean initiation where those BKBs don't pop off, they can almost decidedly win the fight. And you saw there, the Hex from Darkseer made all the difference. Instantly hexed after that swap, and there was just nothing he could do.
Now, in this position, what does the Broodmother offer you? Because very early on, you know, we saw her take the bot rack. She was split pushing, she was causing havoc. She is not a hero that scales really too well, especially when you go for this kind of itemization. Orchid, BKB, it helps you find solo pickoff, it helps you annoy the shit out of the supports, but man fighting against a Lycan with the items he's got just isn't an option.
Yeah,
that's stuck in his base.
I mean, that's kind of why, and yet another reason that I was thinking we'd see BKB out of Sylar is that that very annoying mischance from the Brood incapacitating bite. But I mean, I guess it doesn't matter because with the Necro 3 units up all the time and they don't really have a great way to kill them, I mean, I guess you just can't get close as the Brood. You just can't get into that fight.
I'm just watching Twitch chat, the reaction to your wow when I said Sylar Halberd and you went
Shout out
wow!
to LD.
Shout out to LD. TA with the refraction. Oh man. Maybe now in the Radiant jungle, 25 Bloodstone charges. He hasn't died in what, the past 10 minutes? 15 minutes?
How many of these games do we see Storm Spirits get a little bit behind in farm and really struggle to contribute? I mean, he's spent the vast majority of this match in the bottom 5 in terms of net worth, but as you said, you know, he had those 4 deaths relatively early on, and he's sitting on 6 now. And this is a really clutch performance by Navy. It's not going to look like it in the stats, but he could have had a really hard time, and instead he's been a really nice steady contributor in these fights.
I wish there was an easier way to see when the last time someone died. I was just looking at the net worth graph and just, you know, hovering over the little squares to see, did he die here? Did he die here? No. It's been a long ass time since maybe he's actually taken a fall.
Yeah.
Smoked up from IG.
It's one of the things I think I've talked with talked with the Track Dota guys about that. That's one of the things I think.
Oh, not too bad. Maybe he zips himself up. Roshan again with a relatively quick respawn, but neither team wants to go in there first. LGD though with a secondary smoke. They're the ones that are on the front foot, while IG, Chuan, where are you going? He's gonna place a nice little ward there, but he's not gonna see anything. No way. No way. No way! Maybe jumps all the way across the map to find Chuan. Goes up to Rob, swap back from jump. We'll get the kill on Chuan. Says hello. That was a nuts jump though. How did they actually have vision? Oh, they've got this. No. How did they know he was there? Wolves? Wolves, I guess.
I think. Yeah, that's a good question. It had to be a unit. Well, Burning in any case with the MKB gonna increase his damage output onto Sylar, but again, this is all gonna be about that LGD single target initiation. If they can kill Burning or Sylar at the beginning, Burning or Ferrari at the beginning of one of these fights, I don't think there's much I can do.
Oh, if they can get that weave full duration down as well, fight halfway through the weave debuff, but it's too late. Racks have fallen. There is no fight. LGD walk in, walk out. And IG are left there scratching their heads going, well, that just happened. MMY has an E-blade on top of his 4-staff and Aghanim's. Kind of expected this. Suddenly AA has a ton of gold with that Midas, just keeping the GPM flowing as Roshan is going to be the next port of call for LGD.
Wow. And IG just, when is the last time in this match that IG has been on the offensive? And this is what LGD, I mean, going back how many years now? This is what LGD and Giant teams in general have done. It just feels like they get ahead, they get map control, and you know what? They're not necessarily in a hurry to finish the game, but they're just going to choke you off. They're just going to completely starve your team of resources and make it so that you can never initiate a fight on them.
Burning is now pretty much 6-slotted. What do you sell? You sell Mask of Madness? You need that for the attack speed. Ferrari has an item slot left that he can potentially build into, you know, a heart or a satanic. But if you go for these lifesteal or tanky items, you're still dealing with the AA. Ice Blast is going to hit you.
Yeah, I mean, I think you can sell Mask of Madness just because Juggernaut with his basic attack speed and the levels at this point. I mean, he's gonna have enough attack speed to do damage. He can get a butterfly or something if he wants it, but he's not gonna. It's not gonna matter, I don't think. He's not gonna have time to get that and have buyback.
Definitely not. Last chance saloon here for IG as their last lane of racks getting pressured by LGD. The Howl with the Necro units. Looks like it's going to be a pretty easy take. There's no glyph, there's no real way to stop it. IG have to go and fight. They have to go in now, and they've got no choice. LGD know this. They'll give up, maybe. Nope, swap back. Zhao 8 taking teammate. Luo goes down and Sylar rips him apart. The Omni Flash down from Burning, going to focus the good wave and back up Sylar. Okay, they've got a good fight, but vacuum! Yao with a big old vacuum at the wall, turning this fight straight back around on its head. IG looking in a rough spot as maybe cleans up House. Ferrari, I don't know what your plan is now, buddy. The buyback from Burning, maybe they save their racks, maybe they hold on for a few more minutes, but LGD in such a dominant position.
Yeah, but look at Sylar with the heart. I mean, Sylar got down to like a couple hundred HP and just went and sort of chilled in the Radiant jungle. He's like, all right, guys, you guys sort of handle this. I'm going to regen up back here, and we're going to kill the barracks in 2 minutes.
I love watching Lycan kill buildings, says Zai in Twitch chat. Yeah, it's pretty fun. It's pretty fun, actually. I love it. I know he's being sarcastic, but what the hell.
I do not love it. But somewhere Admiral Bulldog is orgasmic.
Oh yeah, taking down buildings with the summons, not really putting himself into too much danger. The proxy push.
And at the end of the day, it's just LGD has all of this single target initiation, and they also have this great sustain. I mean, IG has just spent the last 25 minutes of this game constantly repelling LGD pushes at the stairs of their own base.
LGD, they've got the ball in their court once again. It's a big old lead that they're holding on to now, though. For a good 45 minutes, IG were clinging onto it and saying, you know, this is our game to lose somewhat, but LGD, with the racks they've taken, the fights that they've won, now looking at a 20k net worth lead and about a 15k experience lead.
Yeah, and interestingly enough, as much as he's been really struggling to contribute to these fights in the last few engagements, in a sense, Luo is the MVP for IG, because if he hadn't been able to rat out those dire bottom racks, the game would already be over. You just saw they had to TP Zhao back to clear out that lane. And that's really the only sort of source of relief for IG on the map right now.
They have to keep burning up in this top lane, just continually pushing back the momentous creeps that are trying to demolish the base. Where's Maybe? What's he up to? Agent's Immortal? Jeevas, BKB, and Bloodstone, and, you know, 7,500 gold saved up, because he doesn't really have a slot to switch out. He's got Gem, which he could potentially just give up, but he doesn't need another item. He doesn't need to give up the Gem, and when they swap Thor back in, that's exactly what Gem is for. No buyback on the Broodmother. Lion now dropping pretty damn quick. Big old vacuum once again. LGD, clean sweep through this fight as they've taken down 3, and now looking to be 4. Good old time for Burning, but watching it accomplishes his own death. Sylar follows him, swipes him with that big old claw. Ferrari TP's him and dives straight out. The GG well played is called as LGD take game number 3 here in the D2CL Chinese playoffs.
I'm sorry, because LGD all played really well, obviously, but this was GG Galley. I mean, he had a plan from the very beginning to win this game, and they just executed so crisply. This is the kind of game that I love watching, because to me, this is a game that was almost entirely about strategy, and LGD just had such great control over the pace and tempo of this game. Like you said, they hung on by their fingernails for 20 minutes or so, but they took one big fight, one big engagement near the Radiant bottom tier 1 tower, completely turned the game. LGD grabbed the game by the throat and just never let go. So impressive series victory out of them.
This Dark Zero has been momentous though for them. Like, you could definitely see. It wasn't just Yao, it's the fact that IG have no choice but to group up and go for Lycan. They need to find that pickoff on Lycan or Storm. You hex him, you group up around him. With the melee cores they've got, Bristle and Juggernaut, you know, they can't stay on the outskirts plinking away like a sniper can. They can't